Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Viva ENT. This is Johnny the Capo.
And this is Back of the Page.
Back of the Page. It's nice to have you in the studio today.
Thank you. You are all going to have the pleasure of listening to us for the next hour on Viva ENT.
That's right. And we have our producer with us, Eric Ryder.
Good afternoon.
All right, my man.
I always look for excuses to make him talk.
Yeah, he's got the voice.
It's so much fun.
Also, today's Coffee with the King is dedicated to Mr. Ryder. Because it's the Coffee with the King today is CC Ryder.
Well, that's my cousin.
Is it?
All right.
CC.
CC Ryder.
CC Ryder. I remember the first time I ever heard CC Ryder, and that was...
Tell me about it. You talk about the King's version or whose version?
The King's version. The first time I ever heard it. And as a coincidence, it was exactly 3 years ago today.
No kidding.
It was. It was the first time I ever heard CC Ryder and Poke Saladani.
Oh,
3 years ago today.
Oh, marvelous.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You must have heard the On Stage February 1970 album.
I certainly did.
I will say.
And it was good. I was like, what is this?
Cool.
Okay.
Well, we have a great show today for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have, first of all, let's talk about your guest. What's her name, Mimi?
Mimi Pettibone, and she is known as the Dream Detective. Mimi is a very cool chick, and there are a lot of people in Seattle who I'm finding just absolutely love her. She does corporate and private events.
Okay.
And amongst other things, but she does dream interpretation and education, tarot, and handwriting analysis. So she does a little bit of everything. Very down to earth, very cool. In fact, I talked to a gal who runs a venue the other day, and we were talking about who we were booking for what events. And I said, I just booked this gal, Mimi. She goes, Mystic Mimi? She says, oh my gosh. I try so hard. I look for any reason to get her booked here. She says, I just absolutely love having her around. And that's what I hear from everybody.
Oh,
and
cool.
She's got great energy, and I love talking to her. And I hope we become friends.
Well, she's going to be on the show today.
Yay! So, and she did offer to do some complimentary dream let's try that again. Complimentary dream analysis.
Okay.
So if anyone is listening,
She's straight as a judge, folks.
who's had a freaky weird dream. In fact, I talked to her the other day because I had this crazy dream. I cannot tell you what it was on the air, but I had a crazy dream, and I told her, and she gave me her interpretation of it, which was exactly how I had interpreted it myself. So anyway, if you're listening and you've had a crazy dream lately and you'd want to discuss it on air with her, she will take calls. That toll-free call-in number is 888-298-KKNW. It's 5569. So 888-298-5569.
Cool.
Or 425-373-5527.
Very good. Very good, Paige. I want to give a plug to the Groovy Girlfriends, which is this Saturday, and it is in Lake City. It's at the Lake City Community Center Vintage Flea Market, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Lots of antiques, vintage, holiday decorations. And the address is 12531 28th Avenue Northeast, Seattle, which is really Lake City.
It is Lake City.
It is Lake City.
And, oh my gosh, I know people who do the Groovy Girlfriends, and that's a fun little thing to go to.
It is a fun little thing to go to. Mm-hmm. If you're going to go to the Groovy Girlfriends, make sure you take a can of food for the Northwest Harvest.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very cool.
And then they got to pop in and say hi to
Ray
Van Winkle. He'll be there, I'm sure.
Ray Van Winkle
and his wife, and Maureen.
And Maureen, my wife, will be there, and it'll be one big happy family.
Okay, so let's get on with Coffee with the King because we got a packed up show, and I want to get going. We got CC Ryder, and we're doing two different versions. One is by the King himself, and the second one is by
Eric Burdon and the Animals.
Eric Burdon and the Animals. Eric Burdon did a version of 16 Tons, folks. If you haven't heard it, look it up. Oh my God, it's mind blowing. But we are doing CC Ryder today.
CC Ryder.
So do you want to hit it now? You want to do it?
Why not?
Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is the King, man.
That's the King.
I said, CC Ryder. Oh, see
what you have done.
What you have done.
I said, CC Ryder.
Okay, we got to stop.
Oh, see what you have done. Oh, girl, you made me love.
I seen Elvis when he came back.
Hear what I said. Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back till fall. Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't be back till fall. Well, if I find me a good girl, I wanna be back at all. Hear what I said? I said, see, right. Oh, see what you have done. I said, see, right. Oh, see what you have done. How girl, you made me love you. No, play it again.
Hey, that's a great version, boy. That's The King with James Burton on lead guitar. Here's Eric Burdon's version. He was still with the Animals when he did it. This is my second favorite CC Rider version. I like Mitch Ryder's too, though. But this is kick-ass. Oh, see, baby.
We love the keyboards.
Okay, that's Eric Burdon. I'll tell you what, that is a great version.
That was heavy.
That was like 1965. I think it made top 20. Can you get some stats on it? Actually, that was before Presley started doing it in 1970. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of each version, Mr. Ryder?
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an old song, wasn't it? Like written in the 20s.
Correct.
And both Elvis and Eric Burdon, they really updated it to right up to that point, you know?
Yeah.
Made it probably a lot more rockin' than it originally was.
We were actually just on the way in here. I pulled up the Ma Rainey version of it. And he's like, man, this doesn't sound like it. I said, it sounds like a 1924 version of it to me.
1924.
It's kind of interesting, too, to see the history on that song. We were looking that up, and it was a little too heavy to even say on air what it was about.
The lyrics are risque.
Even back then, very risque.
Quite
back
risque.
Then.
I'd say risque.
It had to do with women in an industry.
I see.
A particular industry. We could say it. It was about Ladies of the Night.
Ladies of the Night.
The CC Rider Night.
Yeah, it's a story of an unfaithful lover.
Oh, my gosh.
Called Easy Rider.
Well, it's a blues tune, you know. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, but 1924, that was just like, you know, just like what I'd say we were talking about in the 50s, how that was so controversial.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got Nicki Minaj and Iggy Azalea. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not going to be able to find anything like
those
that.
stats,
Quick. I mean,
I'm
I
pretty
could,
sure
but I
that-
just, you put me on the spot.
Well, you should have brought your notepads. So you
I
could see
should
the
have, would have,
file.
could have, baby, but I didn't. So, yes, the Animals had a number 10 U.S. pop hit
There
in
you go.
1966 with it. The Animals heavy version, just like I said, that was heavy, man.
That was heavy.
The heavy version reached number 1 on the Canadian charts and number 8 in Australia.
What about the U.S.? It was number 10?
Top 10. So
Top 10. It was a great record. I still think it's a great record. Mm-hmm. I want to give a quick plug to my buddy in Shoreline, Maddie's. He has an auto repair service, and he's, since I own a limousine company, it's nice to have somebody that you can trust with your vehicles.
yeah, Maddie's Automotive.
Maddie, I love Maddie.
He's the real deal, and
honest guy.
not just honest, but he actually has like super fair prices too.
Yeah,
Like, less than anywhere else, and he makes sure it works.
He's on Aurora, right off 145th and between 145th and 155th.
Right next to McDonald's.
Right next to the McDonald's. So, Maddie, this one's for you, buddy.
We love him.
Old buddy, old pal.
He makes our cars run. Ooh, it is time to hear from a word from our sponsors.
Yeah, that'd be satisfactory.
Okay, cool. Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com. Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Johnny from Viva Productions. I want to tell you a little bit about Vegas nights. Forget about Vegas. I brought casino tables to the Emerald City. Craps, blackjack, roulette, poker. If you're planning a private party, corporate party, senior grad party, any kind of party, you want casino tables, you call 206-542-5733. Vegas nights, that's right, shake, rattle, and roll.
Made fresh each day for you. Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
Actually, see, I do that actually better than the guy. All right.
The guy?
What's the guy's name?
Matthew McConaughey?
I've never been
The Lincoln car
I've never
commercial
been a
guy?
big fan of his, but I guess he's so popular now. I'm getting stuck to like him.
Yeah.
But we have a special guest on today, folks.
Very special.
And she doing a gig for us? Is she?
Yeah,
do we
she
book her?
is. Absolutely.
Oh, it's
she's
just-
going to be on. She's going to be working with Lance Campbell, who we had on last week.
So you mean to tell me that we got this
Mystic Mimi.
We got Mystic Mimi a gig, and we got her on the radio too.
Well, heck yeah.
I would say that you and I are pretty cool people to know.
Mimi, this is Johnny. He's a little full of himself today, I guess.
It must be the Coca-Cola.
Hi, Johnny.
It's nice to meet you on the air, Mimi.
Nice to meet you, too.
John, you will meet Johnny at the event. His band will be playing there also.
That's right.
It's a
Johnny
big
and the
show.
Bad Boys I'm resurrecting the band. Mm-hmm. And
Sounds good.
You'll be listening. What time's she coming in? 9.
She's going to start at 7:30 the same time.
Oh, she'll
you
hear
come
me
on.
singing. She'll hear me singing. Yeah, I'll do CC Rider.
Absolutely. So, folks, now you go by Mystic Mimi, and also Dream Detective. Is that correct?
Right. Those are my two websites, basically. Mystic Mimi started as a nickname in college
Really?
because I was into dream interpretation and tarot cards and all kinds of things like that. And when I needed a website for the readings for events and parties that I do, it just seemed natural. And then for the dream interpretation, I have a whole website dedicated for that, and that one is The Dream Detective.
The Dream Detective. And do people contact you through the website? And
Oh, yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this, did it start in college or way before that?
My interest in dreams started as a child because I'd had a lot of precognitive dreams, and I always just felt like they must mean something, but what do they mean? And in college, I was part of a dream group where we explored the meaning of our dreams through a group process, and I was absolutely blown away at what you could get from a dream. And now I lead a telephone dream group if people are interested in that, too, once a week.
And how do they do that?
They can contact me through thedreamdetective.com, and we meet once a week on a conference call system, and it's a pretty easy process. You don't need any background in dreams, but I teach people how to just project their own meanings. So nobody's saying, here's what your dream means, but we're projecting our own meanings, and somehow through that process, the dreamer gets a lot out of it.
Absolutely. So, folks, if you're listening, you do have a dream that's just been bugging the heck out of you, call-in number is 425-373-5527. Mimi will talk to you.
Wow.
And maybe you guys can get to the bottom of what this means. You know, like we had spoken earlier about, I've always been fascinated with it too. Mine started about 8th, 9th grade with the dream interpretation, tarot, astral projection, like the whole nine. And I find it super fascinating. And I do believe that your subconscious talks to your conscious constantly. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I agree 100%.
I agree, too.
And I think you need to be in tune and in touch with,
especially when I'm sleeping,
with your subconscious. But I also do believe that there's that other side of you, too, that sometimes you have weird dreams just because you ate something or medication or sleep deprivation. Or do you believe that, too?
Absolutely. Medications, it's changing our sleep schedule, any of those types of things can trigger strange dreams and also some interesting sleep phenomena. But other than that, a lot of times people will say, well, I just dreamed about this actor because I watched a movie with them that night. But there's a reason your dreaming mind casts that person or that kind of theme of the movie you watched because it does have relevance for you.
Do many people dream where they see other people's faces? Because I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't see people's faces. I know who they are, but I can't see their faces.
That's weird. Isn't that kind of weird, Mimi?
It could be that you're more of a kinesthetic person than a visual person, even though dreams are, a lot of the dreaming aspect is visual, but you may be somebody whose primary sensory system is not the visual mode. But I think a lot of people do dream of faces, but certainly I think most of us have had some kind of dream where we encounter a person where we can't see their face.
And my daughter told me the other day, and I don't know if this is true or not, but she said that the only people that you see in your dreams are people that you've already met.
I disagree.
You disagree with that? Okay.
I've dreamed of characters that I haven't ever seen, and then the next day or in the next couple of days I see a movie, and there is that person that I dreamed of, or I meet them later.
Cool.
Flippy.
And definitely, I've heard many stories like that.
That's flippy. That's real flippy.
We're getting a call-in person. We'll put her on in a minute, but it's so funny. It says Barbara from Edmonds, and I was going to ask you because a gal in Edmonds the other day asked on a Facebook group to some other ladies. Her question was, is it cheating on your husband if you dream about
That's a strong
being
question,
in the sack with
sister.
someone else? She
Oh,
says,
my gosh.
Is that considered cheating?
It's not. She's off the hook. Although a lot of times when people dream that their partner is cheating, they wake up and get mad and hit the pillow on their partner.
Been there, done that. Been mad at him for days.
Yeah, usually cheating dreams are about either we're feeling cheated out of our time with them if we dream the partner's cheating, or we're doing something that we feel like is taking away from our time with our partner. So if I take up a knitting class 5 nights a week and I never get to see my partner, I might dream that I'm cheating on him because I've got this other thing in my life that's taking away from my time with him.
That makes sense.
Very
Absolutely.
flippy. Very flippy.
Well, Mr. Ryder, can we put on our caller?
Absolutely. We've got Barbara on the line from Edmonds right now.
Cool.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi. So I rarely remember dreams, but about a week ago, I had an extremely vivid dream, and I almost felt like it was real, like it had actually happened. And I was with someone that I know. He was laying down like on a Chase lounge or something, and I was at the end of it, and I was holding his feet, like maybe I was doing Reiki or something. And off to the right was a woman sitting in a chair just smiling at me. And then after a few minutes of praying over him and asking for healing, he rolls over, smiles at me, and says, "Give me 2 more hours."
What?
And then I woke up.
There you go, Mimi.
Wow.
Tackle that one. This is
Am
cool.
I bizarre or what?
Not necessarily. What is this a person that you actually know?
Yes, it is somebody I actually know.
Okay, you don't have to reveal his identity, but this dream, we could look at it in 2 different ways. One would be purely symbolic for the interpretive meaning, in which case I would ask you to give me 3 words to describe him, and whatever those are, I would ask you if those describe a part of yourself that you're trying to heal. Now, on another layer, if you really are a Reiki practitioner or if you just are a healing kind of person, you may have been performing some kind of healing in your sleep.
Okay, well, I do. I have been trained in Reiki 1 and 2.
Okay. So depending on how much personal information you want to reveal, because I respect your privacy, you might want to think about whether or not that person actually has some health issues.
He does.
Okay. And had you been thinking about sending him healing energy?
Not necessarily at like that day or anything, but I'm always thinking about him and wanting him to be well. He's been battling cancer for a very long time.
Oh, wow. I do believe that certain people have the ability to perform healing in their sleep. So you may have actually been sending him healing energy. And then again, you know, if I asked you for 3 words to describe him, you could think about whether or not that fits a part of you and whether you're healing a part of yourself. And dreams are holographic, so it could be all of the above.
Okay. Because I asked him.
What's that?
I asked him if the next day, because it just seemed so real, I asked him if he had a good rest that evening, and he said yes.
Oh, wow.
He said I felt like I was actually there with him.
Okay. And I think the fact that you described it as very vivid and it felt very real could also indicate that it was an actual experience that you were having in terms of performing healing in your sleep.
Can I ask what you think about the woman in the chair smiling at her and that I need 2 more hours?
Yeah, I want to know too.
Yeah, that's killing me.
Well, do you know who the woman was?
I don't know. My only thought was maybe it could have been his mother who had passed on. I've never known her. But
oh, wow. Okay. Have you ever seen a picture of his mother?
Well, yeah. It's been a while since.
You might want to ask him if you can see a picture of his mother and see if it looks like the woman in the chair.
Wow.
I do believe also in after-death visitation dreams.
Oh,
and I would wonder if this were more of the metaphysical type of dream, if she were also there with him in a way, sending him healing energy, or if she had somehow had something to do with connecting you guys in the dream state.
Do you think that I need 2 more hours would represent, he's battling cancer, like saying it's not my time to go yet, but he's saying hours instead of days or weeks or years?
Flippy.
That one's an interesting one because time is pretty nonlinear in dreams. If you're familiar at all with quantum physics, they say time is happening all at once. And so in the dream state, things like numbers and trying to read words on a page often get kind of warped or transformed. And so the other thing that I would wonder about is what time of night you had this dream. Let's say if you had it at 5 a.m. and he got up at 7 a.m., I would wonder if he was literally going to be sleeping for 2 more hours.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
I know it was the wee hours of the morning, but I can't, remember what time.
Right. And without knowing what time he got up that morning, that would be an interesting question to ask him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I find doing what I call reality checks, checking in with your waking life, what matches up to what you experienced in the dream state, especially with these more kind of metaphysical dreams. They can help you validate which of your experiences are different than just the regular REM dreams, and how you can tell the difference and know when you're having more of what we would call an extraordinary dream.
Well, Barbara, do you feel like that helped you out?
Yeah, it does. I wish I could. I mean, my thought is I don't remember my dreams because I am so conked out when I hit the bed.
Sure.
Because I
like
was
me.
long, but I know we dream. I just very rare that I remember anything.
Well, Barbara, we've got to move on to the next person, but you can find Mimi on thedreamdetective.com. And maybe, perhaps continue with her in the future. Thank you so much for your call.
Okay,
Thank you, Barbara.
Let's keep Mimi on the show. And a quick word from our sponsors. And we'll be right back, folks. You're listening to Viva ENT. Hi, everybody. This is Johnny from Viva Productions. I want to tell you a little bit about Elite Limousine. Right now, we have prom specials for 10-passenger stretch limousines, only $90 an hour. That's right, $90 an hour with the 4-hour minimum. 206-542-5733. Go to viva-productions.com for pricing.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com. Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at saturnbarter.com.
Clear, clean, and crisp. Check us out in digital quality sound on FM 98.9 HD3. Alternative Talk 1150.
Okay, man, I like that. I like that riff. We have Mimi on the line with us. Mystic Mimi. But before we bring her on, I want to remind all our listeners today that we are going to have bridesclub.com. Let me say that again more clearly. Bridesclub.com with Brad on the last segment of our show, ladies and gentlemen, as he will be every week. So he's going to be a regular on Viva ENT. I also want to give a plug to Eddie Redmond over at Grand Event Rentals.
They have everything.
He has everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a pretty cool cat. I like Eddie.
Yep, Grand Event.
Yeah, he's doing something for us too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all white dance floor. They have everything you ever needed.
Pipe and drape. They got dance floors. They
lighting
have
and
lighting. If you need something, Eddie's the guy.
Yep.
Here's Becca and here's Mimi.
Absolutely. So, let's talk about the other things you do. Wait. I want to back up. You said that you had interpreted a dream regarding a bride or a wedding or something like that.
Oh, yes, since you guys are in the bridal business, I thought this one was one of my favorites. A woman told me that she had a dream that she was in an arranged marriage. It was in the United States, and she's not Indian, but she said, it was an arranged marriage, and her parents liked the groom, and her friends liked the groom, and she was just going along with things, but she realized this wasn't somebody that she wanted to marry, but she felt like, I'm just supposed to do this, but all she kept thinking was, how can I get out of this? And then I asked her when she had the dream, and it had been about 3 weeks prior to our talking. And so I went on a hunch, and I said, did you go out on a date with someone new about 3 weeks ago? And she got a little grin on her face, and she said, yes. And I asked her to describe it, and she said, well, she didn't really want to be with this guy, but she felt like he was a nice guy and like she should give him a chance. And so then I went with the dream theme, and I said, well, would you describe him as somebody that your parents liked and your friends would like and approve of? And she smiled again, and she kind of made the connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then a minute later, she sort of almost even mumbled to herself that her friend had set her up with this guy on a blind date. And I caught the connection, and I said, oh, so this date was arranged by your friends? And she laughed because the dream was an arranged marriage.
Oh.
So even though she wasn't engaged to this guy or anything, the dream was taking it a little further and exaggerating it, which dreams tend to do, and turned a dating scenario into a marriage, and showed her the dynamics of her going along with what other people wanted her to do versus what does she really want.
Oh, wow.
And so I asked her, well, what kind of guy would you like to be with? And she said, she named a celebrity, Dave Grohl. I said, well, I think he's married, but tell me what qualities he represents to you. And she listed off his qualities like creativity and freedom and all the great things she liked about him. And I said, well, now that's your totem to take with you and say, I'm going to look for a guy with those qualities.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but are those qualities that I really want in myself?
Sure.
So that's another way dreams can bring out these sort of mirror dynamics of our relationships with other people as well as our relationships with ourselves.
Absolutely. It's very, very helpful to get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize how well you know yourself until someone tells you about your dreams.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about handwriting analysis, because that's another, you do the tarot,
Yeah.
but handwriting analysis, a lot of people think that this is really, really cool.
Oh, it's really fun, and handwriting analysis is a science that's used by the police and the FBI, so it's a valid thing. It's very popular with all kinds of crowds, anything from more creative crowds to the more left-brain sort of techie types, because they really get the science of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an intuitive aspect as well, because I had studied so much about the subconscious mind through my background in dreams, it was really easy for me to learn because it's all the same type of symbolism. In a dream, if you dream of something really big, that's really significant. And if you write one word that's a lot bigger than the other words, that is really significant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty fascinating, and how the different traits represent different things. Like a forward slant is emotional expression, and an upright is someone who's a little bit more of what we call the diplomat, uses their head more than their heart to make decisions. Mm-hmm. And so at one event I was analyzing handwriting for a group of people, and one guy I had noticed, he wrote very upright except for one word, which was the name of his date. Let's use the name Becca, for example. So he wrote, I'm here with Becca at this party, and her name he wrote with a forward slant. And I said, oh, I see you're having strong feelings about this person you wrote about. And I hadn't known that was his date because I had a group of people. And he looked at the girl, and she looked at him, and she just melted with a big smile. And it was the sweetest moment because his unconscious was showing how much he actually cared about her and had strong feelings for her.
How cute. I do look at people's handwriting, especially when they, we send contracts back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And my signature, you'd love it. It's larger than life. It's more of kind of like a symbol looking. People always compliment me on my signature. How do you do that? But it's definitely something I worked on for quite a while to get it that way. But I always look to see how big it is, how much pressure they put into their writing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I know I'm dealing with a really strong-minded individual if it's big and bold and heavy. And, and isn't it like the more loopier can be like the flightier, more social type people?
Definitely more friendly, more talkative with the bigger loops. Yes.
And I know how to deal with clients now who have the teeny tiny little itty bitty scratchy handwriting. You learn how to deal with people based off. You can do it right based off their handwriting on how to communicate with them.
Yes, that's a great example of how it can help us understand other people and sort of get in their shoes to relate better to them.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're doing the handwriting analysis and you come across someone who you can just tell is a total chicken wuss? Just no confidence, no, you know what I mean? Like, what do you tell them?
Well, every trait has two sides like a coin. So if they have very timid writing, they're probably also a very sensitive person. And they're probably more in tune with other people's feelings. And that's a gift, even though the other side of it cannot be as great if they're not standing up for themselves. But there's always a positive way to frame it. At an event, I do frame the positive, absolutely. We're at a party, they're having fun, they're not here to get psychoanalyzed, but they want some insight. But even if they hear a little bit like, well, maybe you could stand up for yourself a little bit more, I might not say that up front always, but if they ask, what could I improve, or if I'm teaching a workshop where people are looking for that kind of thing, then it's very helpful to realize, here's my strengths and here's where I could use some improvement.
Cool. And have you ever known anybody who's tried to change their handwriting? Is changing handwriting, can it change who you are?
Absolutely. That's such a great question. Handwriting can change throughout our life as we change, and it's an expression of the subconscious mind, and actually it's a form of body language as well. And there's something called graphotherapy, which means you can change your writing to change your personality traits. So, for example, if you have an upright and you're more of the diplomatic person who makes decisions with their head and you want to be a little more emotionally expressive, you can change your writing to have more of a forward slant. I actually tried that because I have the upright writing, and when I moved it to the forward slant, I started saying more things that I felt. And at times it was great. Wow, I actually said that thing rather than just not saying what I wanted to say.
Sure.
But at other times, it came back to bite me. Oops, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
So that's that thing of every trait has two sides.
Yeah, I love you. You're just all about self-improvement. I love it. Everything you do.
Yes, and exploring the different aspects of ourselves, facets.
Yeah, well, we're getting close to the end of the segment. I would love for you to tell everybody once again how they can contact you online, by phone, however you'd like to do it. You are available for corporate and private parties, correct?
Absolutely. Corporate and private parties. I do the handwriting analysis, tarot cards, dream interpretation, and I do private consultations with all the above, especially the dreams. I have two websites, thedreamdetective.com and mysticmimi.com for the events and parties.
Well, Mystic Mimi, it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm sure that we'll get you back on soon.
Absolutely.
I would love that.
Don't you think so? Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. So that was quite interesting gal to have on the show. I thought it was quite interesting.
Sure. I would love to have her on again and talk about the tarot cards, too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
She's a wealth of positive information.
I would say so.
Yeah. And so we have left. What are we doing?
Well, I do want to mention about the Saturn Barter Club Mixer, which is going to be December 10th at the McGavick Center in Lakewood.
All are invited.
Yes,
it's Saturn Barter Club.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The Saturn Barter Club is really cool. They're based out of Tacoma, but if you're a small business owner anywhere in the Puget Sound, you should really, really, really get to know these guys. Super helpful. It's the benefit of barter, man. If you don't know it, go to SaturnBarterClub.com and check it out there. They have, I believe, close to 1,300 small businesses so far, and it's just growing every day. The guys are super professional, wonderful to be around. You have your own broker who will sell you within the community.
Right.
And so this is a mixer. You're welcome to come. There's going to be entertainment. There'll be casino.
We'll be
There'll
there.
be food, photography, all sorts of fun stuff. Bring the kids and just come check it out with us.
Come on, kids, from 8 to 80.
So SaturnBarter.com, right?
Yep.
And it's December 10th
December
at the McGallick
10th,
Center.
5 o'clock start time. Plus, we're going to be there. Viva Productions, we're going to be there with our casino tables.
And Vegas Nights.
Vegas Nights. And we're going to get one of the guys from Saturn on the radio show very soon, either Josh, Kent, or Anthony.
Good.
And I understand there's a couple new gals that are working in the office now, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love barter, folks.
Anything
I love
you
it.
need.
Yeah.
Anything you need,
Absolutely.
it's right there for you.
A quick word from our sponsors.
And then we'll be back with Brad Buckles and Brides Club.
That's right, our old pal.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment, one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com.
Tired of the insanity of other talk radio stations? Just click your radio knob and say there's no place like Alternative Talk 1150.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, cats and chicks, you're listening to Viva ENT. I'm Johnny the Capo. And here's Becca Page, my co-host. Say something, Becca.
Aloha. Aloha to Hawaii.
Aloha to Hawaii, correct. On this segment, we have bridesclub.com with our buddy and pal, Brad Buckles. He has a guest online. And, Brad, it's all yours, pal.
Thank you. This is Brad Buckles with bridesclub.com. I am here to introduce to you a good friend of mine, Wedding Planner 808, Mrs. Janice Batchelor. Aloha.
Aloha from Hawaii.
How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great. Today is such a beautiful day.
I'm sure you're going to rub it. And how warm is it over there right now?
It's not as warm as it is in the summer, but it's just fine for everyone coming to visit.
About a nice 75 degrees this afternoon.
Yes.
So, Janice, you and I have known each other for probably 10 years. Wedding Planner 808 specializes in wedding planning. What is the one thing that makes you unique?
The one thing that makes us unique is every wedding is personalized according to each bride and groom's personality and style.
And just for fun, how many weddings have you done in your career?
Oh, gosh, in the past 10 years, I do about 50 to 60 weddings every year. So, gosh, how much is that?
It's a lot. Probably 500 weddings. 600.
Yes.
One of the reasons I wanted to invite you on the air today is I wanted to talk with you about trends and new coming things for the 2015 year. One of the new ones that we find quite a bit, and I want to get your opinion on this, is wedding tattoos, where the bride and groom go out and get a matching tattoo or they get a tattoo on their ring finger. What have you seen lately?
I've seen matching tattoos either on the wedding ring finger or somewhere where it's you're able to show it off when you're not, during the evenings, and hide it when you're at in your professional job.
A lot of brides discuss either they don't care that they show their tattoos, or some brides really care that they show their tattoos. What do you find over in Hawaii regarding tattoos?
In Hawaii, I find that in the last couple of months or a year, they have been showing their tattoos to show who they really are as a person and to show their self-expression.
Now, we know for the Hawaii Polynesian style, you get the band tattoos, and the bands around the arms or the thigh or even the ankle. What other kind of tattoos are you seeing becoming more popular with the brides?
Ones are more of, I guess, what their hobbies. So just most recently, I had a cosmetologist have, tattoos geared towards what she does. So, like, hair products, lips, makeup, and those kind of things. And as for guys, I've seen more of a sport, I guess, to show their favorite teams, football teams, their sporting teams, and I've seen that showing all over the circuit.
You know, this kind of goes right into the other tip that I wanted to talk about. Next year, we're going to see a lot more strapless dresses, a lot more sleeveless mermaid-style dresses, as always, but something a lot more revealing. And of course, in Hawaii, we see this a lot because the fabric is a lot more lightweight. But it is interesting that the trend here on the mainland is a lot more sleeveless and strapless. What do you see in Hawaii coming out for next year?
Here in Hawaii, it's much more revealing, and it does also got to do with the weather. They want to be comfortable yet stunning in their wedding gown.
Okay. And you see a lot with, I guess, the new...
Hello?
Looks like we might have lost a little connection here or something.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we'll try to get them back on there ASAP.
Well, that's crazy. I can't tell out in Seattle if it's just the sunset or it looks like it's snowing. Look at it out there.
It does. Well, you know, it looks a little bit foggy for sure. And, it's pretty trippy out there.
That is flippy.
Yeah, well, we're going to try to get Brad back on the air here shortly. And, Paige,
yes, Gargano.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the Saturn Barter Club.
Yeah.
Which we love Saturn Barter Club.
Mm-hmm. And the upcoming mixer.
On December 10th.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to have casino tables there too. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there's nothing left to talk about except for Kim Kardashian's behind.
Really?
Well, that's all that everybody's been talking about for the last week. All the pictures.
Are they both that?
Oh darn! We're gonna have to give up on our Kim Kardashian.
Brad, you're back on the air, handsome.
I am. I'm right here. We were talking about illusion lace in the wedding dresses for next year.
Oh, cool.
Was talking with Janice, hoping she could give us a few examples of maybe some of the new illusion lace dresses that are coming around.
We are seeing a lot of lace. So I've seen one where they have a 2-in-1, where they have a overlay. Have you ever seen the overlays on tables? Now they're having overlays for wedding gowns. So they're having a lace overlay over a regular dress. So one is for the ceremony look and another for the reception look.
Textures have been popular for several years, where you'll see like the rose textured linen tablecloth. We're starting to see wedding dresses have something called sculpturing, where the dress itself would have like a three-dimensional floral or a three-dimensional type lace look that's actually rather thick. They call it sculpturing. I've always found that to be kind of sexy.
It is. We're seeing a lot more layers, a lot more poof, a lot more, It's more like an A-line, however, the sculpturing is more about showing the curves as well.
Fashion Week just recently, they showed a lot shorter wedding dresses than I was used to, where they're starting to come up a little bit more in height, more like a skirt or even maybe a T-length type dress. It'll be interesting to see how much of this starts coming over to Hawaii with all the destination brides.
Yeah, we're seeing that more on the beach weddings instead of more the formal. We want something more fun and flirty.
Something a little bit more alternative?
Yes, alternative, exactly.
Another category that's really interesting to me, in my personal life, I don't like icing. So when I have my birthday cake or when I have a cake at home, I always ask them not to put icing on it. I was kind of excited a couple of years ago when they started this new trend called naked wedding cakes, where it's the cake itself with no icing on it. Have you seen that?
Correct. Yes, we've been seeing that a lot lately, where they're having many more layers with light frosting in between, and everything else are more towards decoration instead of the frosting.
So what kind of decorations are they putting on the cake?
The type of decorations they're using are more floral items here in Hawaii because of the weather. Instead of seeing the cake melt, they're going towards more organic with herbs and flowers.
Herbs? You mean almost like flavored herbs that you can eat?
Yes, like basil, rosemary, so something to spice the cake up a little bit.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
I was just reading something about a chai wedding cake that would actually be like a chai tea infused into the cake itself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Tea is the way to go now. They're infusing it in cupcakes and in specialty drinks as well for the wedding.
That's kind of cool. When it comes to favors and giveaways, do you find that the brides are getting really creative with the kinds of things that they hand out to their guests?
Yes, they are. They're using more of where their culture as well as where their origins are from.
Give me an example of that.
So, say for example, coming from Hawaii, and if it's a destination wedding, they're more likely to use lauhala baskets, which is from the islands, or if they're from Tokyo, they're using more of the bamboos for guests to bring home. So when I say bamboo, we're looking at, vases that are made of bamboo with local flowers.
So the lauhala basket, for those of you who don't know what it is actually like a grass-weaved basket that makes a really nice handmade box. And then they put the gifts inside of the lauhala basket or the box, and then they give that away as kind of like a wrapped present.
Correct, and then it's reusable. You can use it for other items instead of those Americanized boxes that you would throw away after, the edibles that you get inside of it.
That stems back to the ancient Hawaiian ways, right, where they would make family baskets and pass them down as heirlooms?
Correct.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, when the Japanese do it with bamboo, do they actually weave the bamboo into different kinds of structure?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I haven't seen that. That's kind of cool.
So they're bringing a lot of the cultures into their wedding ceremony to make it more unique towards the couple versus in the continental United States, we're going along with the trends. So here in Hawaii, it's a little bit more unique as far as the favors, the centerpieces that they're using. So it brings a more memorable takeaway for all of the guests.
Now, Bradley, I hate to interrupt, Brad, but we're down to about 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
You got it. Oh, I appreciate it. We have several trends that we're going to be posting on bridesclub.com. So Janice, this recording and a few other things that Janice has to say will be up at bridesclub.com. This is Brad with bridesclub.com. I'll see you at the wedding expos.
Okay, Brad,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being on the show, dear. Okay, very cool, very groovy. Okay, so don't forget Groovy Girlfriends this Saturday. And you want to say anything else before we go, Paige?
Are we back next week, real quick?
We're off next week, folks. We're back December 4th.
December 4th, so we'll dig it out and see you later.
We love our new studio. Thank you for listening to Viva ENT. It's a pleasure to chat with you guys on Thursday afternoon. We're digging out. See you later because you're all fine.
Sweet potato.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.